Kathy Vick, deeply awake. Well, this process is nearing completion. It's very clear to me that it is. I hope that you can understand the I don't know if I'll ever be able to describe. I could spend the rest of my life trying to. The wonder and awe, the humor and joy, the beauty and symmetry, the cheekiness, the creativity, the out and out fun that impregnates this journey of mine and is reaching heights that I didn't think possible. Today I realized that I've been given a great tool to make my life easier and to make my heart bigger and more open. It comes from that beautiful meditation I had where I was a series of boats on an ocean and I was looking at a whale. Man, oh man. But as whale energy and whale imagery become important, sure, I've always resonated with it. That's what I always have known. That's what I am. That's my group. I know instinctively, intuitively, without question, much I've received in meditation. But whales, they're important to me. They run the grids of this earth. They keep it spinning. They're our parents. They're our way home. It's through them we go home when we die. It's within them that our records are kept. And they're simply not around here. And I love them so much. Why? Well, because I'm one of them. I appreciate dolphin energy, but I don't cry when I contemplate it. Whales are important to me. This morning, driving to work, thinking once again about a whale. Does a whale get annoyed? Do you think? You think a whale has seen a thing or two? What I understand about the ones that keep our records, they're not from here. They come from someplace else. They're ancient. They're not seen mating because they don't. And when I had that meditation, when I went inside the whale through its eye, inside the whale, I was home. And then I got big and I looked at it. It was a fish. It was slimy and gray and kind of weird looking and easy to poke fun at, actually. It's a little weird and almost pathetic. And then going back inside of it, that's another thing. And all of the judgments, whatever. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's a different agreement field. That's a different reality. It's a different consciousness. And that's the tool. Came this morning. Will I be going from the inside out or the outside in? Is the problem when looking at a problem. Looking at a problem is an outside-in event. Exploring a problem or exploring self in relation to a circumstance is working from the inside out. And I can apply that to so many things. To something that is pure, true, and golden when within it. Perfect. And then step out of it and look at it. Look at the circumstances. And it's impossible. I can apply it to nursing. There's nothing on this earth that turns me on quite as much as being with a patient. Someone who's truly sick. And it turns them on too. And when we're in it together, the healing. Because I have permission with them to work with their souls. I dream with them. We do a lot of work. And that's an inside-out kind of thing. Outside in? Well, I have an issue with tardiness and authority. I have details. Outside in, I'm not particularly liked sometimes. Inside out, well, that's another matter altogether. You just ask the patients I've touched. It can be applied to many circumstances and a daily life. Because as I was looking at that whale, the only thoughts I had and the feelings I had and the consciousness I held was the same one I felt when I look at the American political debacle that is occurring, which, whether it's not a curse, it is a blessing, but good God, do we have to go about it this way? Well, evidently so. Whatever. But again, thinking about other people's behavior, trying to figure out how to handle, just survive abusive behavior. And when I say abusive behavior, just trust me, I'm involved with things that are unhealthy and dysfunctional. It's seemingly, that's my life. There's always somebody in my life. And I realized that on the way to work too. Part of this is about my role and about my attitude toward it and about what I'm going to take on. And so with this inside out, outside in thing, when I'm outside it, and when I was outside that whale, and when I was thinking about Trump, I was thinking about my work, I was thinking about my finances. I was thinking about how, stuck I am and all that stuff, right? Storylines and handcuffs, basically. Inside. Ha! It's another story. But see, it was still forming when I apply it to myself in my life. And I keep getting the thought, it comes again and again. It's really, at this point, it's really best to stick with how you want to feel. The kind of places you want to go, the kind of joy you want to be feeling. And that's, Kathy, what you need to be thinking about, because don't limit this. I just keep getting it. Just don't. It would be unwise to settle on a particular path, person, industry, trajectory. It's unwise right now. Limiting, because it's limiting. Because the sky and above is the limit. And there may be things that I am unable to even comprehend I could be capable of, that I will one day just take for granted. So it's best not to limit myself or my expression. So, I realize that part of this is how do I walk around? How do I walk around holding all of this and having it realized and conduct my business? How do I do that? I'm figuring it out. It reminds me of the spontaneous singing circle I went to. It was right when I was getting activated, and it was intense because when we were singing, I was seeing geometries, but more I was feeling them, not in my body necessarily, but just within and without. And it was the group really enjoyed discordant sounds, and it was really not good for me. It was painful to me. I know I sound like some airy-fairy, I can't eat peanuts or milk, or just give me some water, like that. But no, it was just like, oh. And then, in that circle, there were about 12, 13 of us, and I don't know, we were going, or I was just looking around the circle, and boom, 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 I got them. I saw things in a way that I had never, and it was very complete. The pain, the suffering, the misunderstandings, the miscommunications, the pettiness, the smallness, the fear, the suffering, the longings, the desperations, the triumphs, the beliefs. Oh God, it went on and on. And it was boom, every person, boom, every person, boom. I could feel their flavor, I could smell their auras, or whatever they're called. It was just really intense. And this all happened very, very, very fast. And then I heard, now, your job is to figure out how to walk around with this. I recorded that. And I'm beginning to realize that that really was quite prescient. And it was troubling to walk around with all of that. Basically, I felt the pain, I felt the suffering, I empathized, and I brought it in, and I thought it was mine. I really did. And especially when I'm in a healing situation, or in a relationship, I guess. I'm not really sure. I pretend to know who I am. But, I mean, you get deep enough, you get true enough, you go far enough. There's only one consciousness, and we're tickling each other. We've broken off into two halves, and we're tickling and playing and joking and scaring and whatever. But it's a groove. So, I think that yesterday, again and again, I kept thinking, I just really feel like I need to apologize to probably pretty much everyone in my entire life. I'm really, really sorry that I didn't understand this. I'm really sorry I was angry so much at the time. I'm sorry that I was resentful. I'm sorry that I couldn't just let you be in your confusion and misunderstanding, and I'm sorry I couldn't say no better. Just, please forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. I didn't know. I didn't understand. And in this process, it's been like this. Sandra Walter, talks about it at times. That, you get it. It just is. This is just the way of it. I didn't understand. But now I do. And it's easier to love. It's easier to be tolerant. I think that anyone who has had any contact with me knows that I take a lot. I just will let people be. But then I reach a point and I will take no more. And I start instructing. Because I just can't. There's only so much. And I realize that. And I acknowledge it about myself. I acknowledge that it's this person, it's this person who sat on a casino stool and was swept away by white light, and I wrote about it, and then I had, all the electricity went out in the casino, and my guides laughed and said, oops. And then I went out to the car and had 2 NDEs. And 7 months later, I consciously entered the, whatever you want to call it. It was like a field of creation. It was like the Matrix movie when everything goes green, but it was gold and it was benevolent. It was love itself, physicalized in everyone in my life, and me, and the inanimate objects that populate my reality. I woke up a couple days ago, and that was the thought I had. It really doesn't even matter what I say. I don't have to say anything. If I didn't open my mouth again, it wouldn't matter. I could just assume a life of a simple grandma. Because that is the energy I hold. And that is what people are responding to. It's that stuff. And it's me having spent the last 20-some years pretty much dialed just for this. And when not in tremendous density, this is what and who I am. This is what I study. This is what and who I am, and always have been. Given that, That's what was being asked in that bathroom mirror this afternoon. I don't even remember the words. They were being very cheeky. But there was a big smile. Just to get ready, because there's more. What they said was, soon it will be a little bit more obvious. I don't know what that means. I'm beginning to understand what I took on. And it's not a psychiatric delusion. It's the fulfillment of a visitation I had when I was a girl. Of a message my brother sent. He needed to deliver it himself. That's what this is. And maybe I'll be an incognito grandma. Who knows? Maybe I'll die soon. Maybe. And maybe there is such a thing as Deus ex machina. Maybe. This has value and beauty, depth and warmth. And I am a lover of humanity. And I am a lover of those I know, meet, and cherish. I'm a lover, not a fighter. So, I wanted to share this with you. It's a big time for me. And sure, there are some tears, like there were at the beginning. But you know what? I'll bet you've had a similar experience. Haven't you? Haven't you heard a song and thought of a human you love or a situation or God and been moved with such love, such profound love that you can't express? It has to come out somehow. There are many times on this road where I have realized something that kept me back and made me feel bad and small, and I realized that I was doing it wrong. I didn't understand it. I go, oh, and then I laugh out loud, and I have a laugh. And it is just so, there's nothing like that laugh. That's great. But it's the same well. It's joy itself. So, that is what I have to tell you today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Blessings be. Say that. Now? Okay, now.